What if I told you that the best budget M4 in Escape from Tarkov isn't even an M4? In this episode of Cheap Chad Destroyers, we are talking about a gun that I love to use in Tarkov that every time I use it, somebody's asking why I'm using that trash gun. And I'm going to explain exactly why. I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. If you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And I'd love to take a second to thank the sponsor for this video, Juju. Juju is an energy formula designed specifically for gamers to increase reaction time, focus, and energy without giving any sort of hard crashes at the end. I genuinely love this stuff. I drank it long before I worked with these guys. All the flavors are really good. I feel the energy. There really is no crashes. Working with them has been super fun, and this stuff really tastes good. We've had a ton of great reviews from people in the Twitch chat and on the YouTube comments that have purchased this and really enjoy it. If you're interested in something like this, you can use code Jessekazam at checkout for 10% off your order. With all this stuff out of the way though, let's go ahead and dive right into the video. All right, so in this video, we are talking about the DT-MDR. Now, as soon as I said that, you probably have your own opinion, people. A lot of people either love or hate this gun, but this really is, in my opinion, the best budget M4 that you can get in Escape from Tarkov. It's great early, mid-game, and if you're low on cash, even late game, man, you can have a lot of fun with this thing. So it shoots 5.56. It's a bullpup. It's basically an M4 that's almost ready to go as soon as you get one. So we can start with talking about the price. You can purchase these from Peacekeeper, but this is definitely going to be one of those where I feel like I'm going to get some angry comments because the purchase price from the trader is not great. 838 USD translates to just over 100,000 rubles. In my opinion, we're past a budget weapon. If stock standard just for the weapon, we're paying 100,000 rubles. Now, you can get these on the flea market for about 46 to 50,000 rubles, and that's just kind of how it is. You know, in the past, maybe 50,000 rubles for the gun with no attachments wouldn't be considered budget, but the way the economy is right now, at least as of 12.10, we've got a ton of inflation going on in the economy. Everything is more expensive. 50,000 for a weapon is not that bad. A full auto weapon that can handle high capacity mags and shoots the meta ammos. 5.56 is kind of the meta these days, but so for, 46 to 50,000 rubles, yes, the price of this might increase because of the video, but every time that's happened in like 48 hours, it dips all the way back down to completely normal prices. So if you hop on and it's a little bit more, just be a little bit patient. It will drop back down. Anyway, so purchase from the traders, not a great idea. You can purchase these off the flea market. You can find them in raid, like raiders have them on reserve or something like that. You can find them in like caches, the secret stashes. You can find these throughout the world, but around 50K. But the beauty of this thing is that it's basically just ready to roll. You can put your optic of choice, which I never factor into the price because you can, I'm not sure which one you want to buy. I normally just like keep a bunch of optics and like rigs and stuff like that, so I can just throw something on if I need. And the thing about the bullpups is that you can put a foregrip on it, you can put a compensator on it, and you're ready to rumble. If you want to put like a tactical device, you can do that, flashlight, laser. If not, you are completely ready to rumble. The beauty of these is that they're stripped down. That means you can't get this down to like 30 vertical recoil like you can in M4, but you're also not having to worry about like the upper receiver, the gas block, the buffer tube, the stock, the butt pad. You're not worried about that. You put your favorite foregrip, your favorite suppressor on, and you are good to go. So let's take a look at a stock standard MDR and compare that kind of to an M4. We'll see where these differ, and you'll kind of see why we're heading in this direction. So as far as like stats, which stock with nothing on it, of course, it's not going to be good. 71 vertical recoil, 198. I mean, 308 MDRs getting it down to 70 vertical recoil is actually almost as best as you can get. So I guess that's not terrible. You could use it if you wanted to, but of course it's not great without attachments. It shoots 650 rounds per minute, which the M4s shoot at 800 rounds per minute. So that is definitely something to consider. But in my opinion, a lot of times this lower fire rate can translate to lower perceived recoil because it just has a little bit more time to return to center. You're not immediately like going all the way up to the ceiling. That just could be how I'm perceiving it. But compared to a stock standard M4, which is 88 and 243. So yes, this is more modular. Yes, you can get an M4 down to much lower vertical recoil and stuff like that. It requires so many more pieces to get there. And to double down on that, these stock M4s are more expensive than MDRs. 55 to 60 range. Yes, you can buy like a stock M4 for cheaper from Peacekeeper, but you'd be paying more for the stock gun and having to replace more things. Like this stock M4, I can't put a foregrip on. I have to change out the handguard first, then I can put a foregrip on. If I want to get rid of the carry handle and put a red dot on, I probably have to get rid of the gas block or get a new gas block so I can actually see through it. So just right out the gate, you have to do more to M4s to get them even in a usable state, and they start with worse stats. Of course, the fire rate. The fire rate is a deal breaker for some people. They're all about fire rate, min-maxing, damage per second. That's totally understandable. But in my opinion, most fights in Tarkov either end in you're hitting your shots or not. You know, fights happen really fast in Tarkov, you know, a few seconds. So the one extra round you were going to get off from an HK versus this, just in my opinion, isn't winning you fights. You're either hitting your shots or not. Anyways, the other reason why I think this is a great budget gun is because we can take a look at some presets. So this is my like budget preset. Once again, the optic, you can do whatever you want. And this M-lock here, you don't need any rails for. You can throw it right on. And the M-lock is 66 USD. And the RC2 suppressor is just about 30K. And the Surefire compensator, which it goes on to, is about 7K. So for, you know, 40K, 50K, you can get this to now from 70 down to about 61 vertical recoil. And that's really not that bad. And if we open up, I did a preset where I literally did every single thing possible to get the recoil down as low as possible, which is putting a RK2 an RK2 foregrip on it and the Blackout SDN6 suppressor. And we went from 61 vertical recoil to 56. So it only saved us 5 recoil. But now this foregrip is closer to 30,000 rubles. It's about 27, 28K. And this suppressor is in the 80,000 ruble range because you have to pay 631 USD for it. So we've like doubled or tripled the price for the attachments for what? For 4 or 5 vertical recoil. So the beauty about this gun is that it just basically serves as the budget M4. I would never, it's not worth buying the meta attachments for this gun because you want those meta attachments on something like an M4 where you can actually get that all the way down to like sub 40 recoil. This gun is just not worth it. This is just basically designed, not designed, but in Tarkov, it serves as the budget M4 through and through. So you can save on attachments and you can just kind of like grab a few, throw an optic on, and you're good to go right out of the gate. If you don't want to suppress it, you can get other compensators that reduce recoil. I still think suppressing gets you lower recoil, but if you wanted to save money, you could get close to this by putting something like the Bulletech compensator on it if you wanted to. Like we could see where that sits because I think the Bulletech is still the Meta 1. Where we only added a few vertical recoil, and now if we wanted to purchase that, we could. They're about 16,000 rubles. So instead of paying 30K for the suppressor, you could just pay 16K for this and get down to 64 vertical recoil. And now your all-in cost on attachments is closer to 20,000, 20 to 23,000 plus the cost of the gun. So this, in my opinion, is a super fun budget M4. All of this, once again, in the current Tarkov economy, fits within what I would say is a budget gun, and it shoots the really good ammo. So let's talk about ammo. 5.56 is basically considered the meta round. A lot of times, M4s and HKs between their recoil and the round stats. We can go all the way up to the top. The new AP rounds for this gun, in my opinion, are not worth it at all because they have even less damage than 9.95 with like only a few more pen. 9.95, in my opinion, is also not worth it at all. 17 USD per round is just not worth it. That's just out of control, in my opinion. I'm just like, I've got 80 million rubles, but I'm never, ever paying for 9.95. It's just ridiculous, and I don't feel like the performance is relative to the price, in my opinion. So that brings us down to M855A1, which is kind of like the most used round. It's got 43 pen and 45 damage. So definitely not, you know, up there with being able to one tap Altons or two tap something like a Slick. But 55A1 is a very, very capable round. 43 pen really means that it only takes you a few shots to punch down an armor. And it's much more available, although it is sold out pretty frequently. Now, I have an ammo case full of 55A1, and I've never bought any off the flea market. I only purchase it from traders. Throughout my day while I'm playing, I see if I can purchase it, what's in stock, and if I can't, I just move on and do something else. This is actually more expensive than 995 on the flea market, which makes absolutely no sense to me, but that's where we are in Escape from Tarkov, right? Yep, a little bit more expensive. That's totally fine. But the price for 55A1 kind of varies. 368 rubles is a great deal for this round. And from Skier, you can only buy 90 from him. So you have to catch him on a reset, and you can only buy 90. You can buy much more from Peacekeeper at 7 USD a round, which is about like 800 or 900 a round. Once again, if you look at Tarkov a year or two ago, 900 a round was crazy. But in the current economy, obviously, 900 a round is kind of a steal. So 55A1 is mostly the go-to round for 5.56. It's got decent damage. It's got decent pen. When you're shooting at full auto, you're going to be crushing through face shields or destroying helmets. Most helmets are most of the most used helmets are class 4 helmets with class 3 face shields like the exfil. So you're going to be shredding through those helmets. You're going to be destroying armor quick with 55A1. It's a great round. Now, if you wanted to go even further kind of down the rabbit hole, you can do 5.6A1. 5.6A1 has 37 pen and 51 damage. So you're definitely in the realm there where you're going to be having to hit your shots. You're going to be really needing to go for those headshots, depending on what you're going up against. If you're going up against a guy with a Slick, it's going to feel like that dude's a bit of a tank. But on the same time, a lot of my content is really about you can be effective with almost anything. 5.6A1 is readily available. You can buy 300 of it, and for only 3 USD. And you can probably even find it cheaper on the flea market. Not cheaper, but 400 around on the flea market if you don't have USD. But you just kind of got to know what you're getting yourself into. It's got lower pen. It's got decent damage, though, which is nice. So it's usable. But that's the MDR. We can kind of like take it into the hideout, and I can show you that 61 vertical recoil isn't that bad. Actually, really quickly, just to show everybody, I have level 17 recoil control, right? So I'm not a meta Chad out here with elite recoil control, and all my guns have no recoil because I have that skill. I have 17 recoil control. It's nothing crazy. So this is the MDR. This is with 61 vertical recoil. Like, I don't know what to say. Of course, yes, you're going to have that jump at the beginning. But after that, it really cools off. And you can just pepper somebody. Like, that to me is incredibly usable. I'm not going to be engaging, not going to be full autoing somebody from like, 100 meters because that recoil is going to get crazy. But any sort of your close to mid range fights, it's very, very usable. So that's the MDR. In my opinion, it is the best offering for a budget M4. It's less expensive than a stock M4. You have to do less to it. It's not worth buying the meta attachments, so I wouldn't even consider it. You just kind of throw some decent stuff on there. It's ready to go. It's fun to use. You get them back in insurance a lot of time because people don't like them. People think they're dumb. So that's the MDR. So hopefully this showed you something different. Hopefully, maybe if you didn't like this gun, this gave you a few reasons to go check it out. And if you're looking for a budget gun that can be pretty capable at killing some Chads in Tarkov, I think this is it. And I hope you have fun with it. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. If you liked the video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord server is an awesome place to be. That link is down below as well. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll definitely see y'all on the next one.